It's the Battle of the Bays. Green Bay tops Tampa Bay to clinch a playoff spot, but could the Bears help them close out the division? Week 16 is fun, ain't it? Plus, it was a big day for the Big Four. Our coach, Kevin Lehman, stops by to let you know what he learned from the Big Four Classic. The Drake men couldn't pull off the upset. Could the Drake women? The Bulldogs give the Hawkeyes all they can handle at the Knapp Center, and it was a special night at the gym at Jefferson.
Your daughter has cancer.
How a community is rallying to help fight cancer on the basketball court. You're watching Fox 28. It's Sunday. That means only one thing. It's time for Fox 28 Sports Sunday. That looks exciting. Thanks for tuning in to Fox 28 Sports Sunday. The Big Four Classic is in the books. Some great women's games today, but we start in the National Football League. Week 16 means the playoff picture starts to take shape. Green Bay with a chance to clinch a playoff spot at the table if they can get past Lovie Smith's Buccaneers. Aaron Rodgers and company in Tampa Bay to face the struggling Bucs. Win and they're in the playoffs. And Eddie Lacy, he wants that playoff spot ever so badly. So much so that he breaks a couple of tackles and runs 44 yards for the touchdown. Lacy went for 99 in that score, 7-0 Green Bay. The defense has been under scrutiny lately, stepped up a bit today. They got after Josh McCown, sacked by Julius Peppers, then Clay Matthews. 7 sacks for the Pack today. Packers up 10-3 at the break. Second half, Rodgers to Jordy Nelson down to the 1. He'd score a couple of plays later. Nelson went for 113 and a score. All Packers today, 20-3, and Green Bay is in the playoffs, the 6th straight trip to the postseason. A rare moment where Packers fans are also Bears fans. A Chicago win gives Green Bay the division. They're taking on the Lions. Pick it up in the third quarter. Bears down 10-7 with Jimmy Clausen at quarterback. Looks a little better than Jay Cutler, don't you think? 20 yards to Alshon Jeffrey, and the Bears have a fourth quarter lead, 14-10. Could it last? No, it could not. Joik Bell through the defense, bouncing off tackles, finds the end zone. Lions retake the lead. The Bears down 6, fourth quarter. It's 4th and 10. Clausen picked off, and that does it. The Bears cannot help the Packers. 20-14 Lions. For the Bears, it's loss number 10, but this sets up a division title game next week in Green Bay. Packers and Lions. Rodgers was scoreboard watching just a tad and spoke in Tampa about the matchup next week.
Well, it's exciting. Last year we had to go on the road and beat Chicago. This year, we get it at home. Detroit's playing really good. They're already in the playoffs. Got a win today at Chicago. They got a great defense, one of the best in the league, if not the best. They've played really well on the back end. Obviously, Sue is one of the premier players in the league at any position, and they've been getting a lot of pressure with their front four, and Coach Caldwell's done a great job of getting those guys to buy in and believe in each other, and obviously they're playing really well.
So here is a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. All the spots are set except for the NFC South champion. That will be either Carolina or Atlanta. So it's all seeding now. Green Bay can get out of that wild card spot with a win next week. The Vikings not in the playoffs, but in an awesome game today at Miami with Dan Marino on hand. We'll jump to the fourth quarter because this is what the kids call cray-cray. Vikings down 8, Teddy Bridgewater to Jarius Wright. The 2-point conversion also good, so we're tied at 28. Later on, it's Matt Asiata. The 5-yard touchdown run. Vikings up 35-28 with just 5 minutes left. Just 45 seconds left now. It's a tie game. The Vikings punting deep in their own territory, and it's blocked. It's a game-winning safety. Well, it's no big deal. And that's how the Vikings lose, 37-35. Now, even with that win, Miami eliminated in the AFC playoff picture, so that's good news for the Chiefs, who are also fighting for a wild card spot. Kansas City could really use a win in Pittsburgh. A Steelers win clinches them a spot. KC up 6-3 in the second. First and goal for the Steelers. Le'Veon Bell takes it 1 yard for the touchdown. Pittsburgh takes the lead 10-6. Same score in the third quarter. Another first and goal. This time it's Big Ben Roethlisberger. Connects with Antonio Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Not going the way Andy Reid scripted it up. And fourth quarter now, it's 20-12. Chiefs need the onside kick for a chance, and they cannot get it. The Steelers run out the clock. 20-12 is your final. They'll need some help now to make the postseason. The wide receiver touchdown drought, that continues as well. The Chiefs were held out of the end zone in this one. Andy Reid, talk to me.
We gave Steelers too many opportunities. They're too good of a football team to give that many opportunities to, and that's my responsibility to make sure that we continue to take steps forward. I thought the guys played hard and aggressive today. We just, again, you've got to play more consistent.
The Cowboys looked really consistent today against the Colts. They win and clinch a playoff spot, and in the middle of an unexpected blowout was former Hawkeye Anthony Hitchens. Hitch picked off a deflected ball that Andrew Luck threw. His first career interception. He is your homegrown hero as the Cowboys top the Colts 42-7. Well, it's time to pay the bills, but stay right here. Still to come, Fox 28 basketball analyst Kevin Lehman stops by to break down the Big Four that played in the Big Four Classic. And later, the girl who's bringing the national effort to fight cancer onto the basketball court right here in the corridor. You're watching Fox 28 Sports Sunday. Welcome back to Fox 28 Sports Sunday. Well, the Big Four Classic was here and gone, and not soon enough for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who continue to struggle. The Hawks mustered just 44 points against that swarming UNI defense. And the Panthers, man, this team looks good. There is a reason why Northern Iowa was ranked just as recent as last week. This team is legit, and this is a legit win for a team that needed one after a tough loss. Talk about two teams going in opposite directions.
The importance of this one for our guys to be able to taste success before we go to Christmas coming out of the VCU game. So being able to get in here and for all the reasons that everybody knows about, I think that's more important for us heading into Christmas.
We know there's going to be naysayers and people doubting us, and we've got to band together, the guys in the locker room, and fight through this little spell we're in. But we're going to get through it together. That's the main thing.
Early game was a blowout. Not many picking Drake for an upset, but besides seeing a big win, Iowa State fans also got their first look at another star transfer, Jameel McKay. Finally eligible, McKay made his season debut, scored just 8 points, but you could really see the potential in this kid. Once he gets in game shape, man, look out.
There's no way you could prepare for a live game action, regardless of how much you run or how much you practice every day. So I was a little exhausted, but I came in expecting that. I felt like when I was out there, I was a little productive for the 13 minutes I played, and I was just anxious. I was glad the wait is finally over.
Everybody didn't get to see as much of his athleticism today, and that's what I love about the fact that he played great, man. And, he has so much more to show, and he's going to be a great aggressor and, just be that energy guy for us that we need, rim protector and so forth.
So Jameel McKay is back for Iowa State, and Kevin Lehman is back on Fox 28, our basketball analyst. Thank you so much for joining us.
Landon, my pleasure to be here.
And Kevin, you were at the Big Four Classic, and you got to watch Iowa State in person. They have been so impressive this year, but I want to get your take on this. Are they an elite team in your eyes?
This is a team that can score points in a number of ways, and I think you take Kentucky and put them in a class all by themselves, but after that, you've got Wisconsin, Duke, Arizona, Louisville, who's got a matchup coming with Kentucky. I think you can put Iowa State in that group, especially with the addition of Jameel McKay in the middle. That gives them, one area they're weak, the ability to rebound.
Again, he had 8 points in his debut. You know who else looked really good? Just UNI in general. Again, you got to watch them in person. How impressed were you with the Panthers?
They can defend as well as anybody in the country, and they do defend. And they're the team that you hate to play because they will not beat themselves. You have to beat them. They don't turn the ball over. Ben Jacobson was years ago in that Sweet 16 team. We've got the same thing cooking up there in Cedar Falls.
Back to the Sweet 16 would be amazing. Back into the top 25, that's actually realistic. Do you think they've done enough to get back into the rankings?
They have one loss. It's a double overtime in Richmond to VCU. Not many people are going to and win at VCU. I think tomorrow they're going to be back in that top 25.
The shame of this whole Big Four Classic is that it's not a tournament. I think everyone wanted to see Iowa State play UNI, and even Ben Jacobson was asked about it after his win over Iowa. And I want you to listen to what Ben Jacobson had to say here.
Ask the mayor. From what I understand, the mayor's never been wrong. I mean, the mayor's usually right, so ask him. Yeah. We'd love to play in that game, absolutely. But I say that with nothing to do with the way the series is set up or nothing to do with our team. Yeah, we'd love to play in a game like that because of how good Iowa State is, no question.
We'd love to see that game, and I know you would too. So hypothetically, these two play a game, who wins?
I'd love to call that game.
Yeah.
If it's at Hilton, you got to give it to the Cyclones.
Of course.
You put it on a neutral court, and these are two teams. The great thing about them, they're contrasting styles. You have that great defense, by Northern Iowa and their ability for transition defense, and they don't turn the basketball over against the high-powered offense of Iowa State. I think it would be a fantastic matchup. Who can control tempo-type games? But Iowa State, they've got a lot of weapons. I think I'd have to lean a little bit toward Iowa State if you're a basketball fan in the state of Iowa. What Northern Iowa is doing and what Iowa State's doing has got to really keep your interest.
What I was doing is keeping a lot of people's interest, but not really for a good reason. Just 44 points against UNI. Quite simply, what's wrong with this team?
It was an interesting team to watch because you thought Iowa was kind of in control somewhat in the first half, and then that tide completely turned in the second half as they only made 3 field goals the entire second half, 12%. This is a team, they have lost confidence in their ability to shoot the basketball. The concern is how it's happening. Something has to change there to get some leadership and to get their mojo back. They got to get their mojo back.
He's Kevin Lehman. He knows what he's talking about. You like the women's game?
I like it when they score in the hundreds.
Well, you're in luck. You're going to want to stick around. After the break, Drake takes Iowa down to the wire in the highest scoring game of the year for both teams. Shots falling, records falling. And it's next on Fox 28 Sports Sunday.